Well, yeah, how much is it? $40 a session. And all they're going to tell you is what you want to hear. Let's get some more. What you got, Jay?
I was saying, it's not amazing. The Most High probably wouldn't give it the scripture because, we'll try to run to it. You feel me? You don't want to fall into that idolatry.
No more than he said, make an image of anything above heaven or underneath the earth.
He just wants you to know what it was, but he ain't even, and the Most High ain't.
That's right.
He left for us to know.
For us to know. And see, because it's going to get with, he ain't left it for us to be dipping and dabbling in it.
So you wouldn't be peeking into something that was destroyed.
Peeping into the future. The future is already written. Daniel was sealed up in 12th chapter. No more vision for you. The rest of it going to be explained by John. So we have our beginning, the Alpha, and we have the end, Omega. It's already written. What do you want to peep for and see your end? Is that what you want to do? You want to see your end? Because you may see something you don't want to see. That's why when they tell them you speak in tongues, they don't never have an interpreter. Why won't you want to interpret that? How you know that tongue ain't told you?
Tomorrow you're dead.
Give off the lane apart. Pick it out. Who want to hear that? Huh?
Spark gonna fall out.
Spark gonna fall like Isaiah 38. Only prophesy smooth things up. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, Old Testament, when Eli's sons Hophni and Phinehas,
Right.
Wicked. It was a righteous people at first, and then they flipped it around and started prophesying some wickedness. So you wrong.
What you saying? Hold shorty down a minute, y'all. Go ahead.
It was
What you saying?
Hophni and Phinehas in the Old Testament. Eli's son, they started using the ephod for wickedness.
Right.
And they were supposed to use for righteousness, but they
That's right.
changed the whole
Same thing we do today. Same thing we do today. Using this for wickedness. Call it evil good. It's using the righteous thing. This is the same thing using the tongue. They're using this for wickedness. Right. Telling you, I'll split 1 Timothy 4. I'll start below the faith and the truth and show you right where he made everything just pray over. That's using it for wickedness. It's like the Muslim guy he was just talking to outside. He said, I don't believe the Bible, I don't believe that. And then the next breath out the body, quoting Job. Hold on. You just said it was no good, now you quoting Job?
I'm 80 years old and ain't never been sick. And ain't got a tooth in his mouth.
Right. Well, he's sick in the head. His whole body is sick. He's saying this has been tampered with. He just don't know the sickness he got. He don't understand that he's spiritually on the deathbed. That's the sickness he don't understand. He thinks this is all about a strong word. You know he's sick. Tell him to go in the bathroom, and when he get through standing there, or have somebody else just come in there when he get through wiping. You know he's sick. Just like we know. You can't stay in there. It's stinking there. So as long as the body is corrupting itself, he ain't understanding that I ain't sick. He's dying. And he don't understand his skin ain't the way it was when he was 16, is it? There's enough wrinkles on that look like a road map of California. Let's get some more of this, y'all. Let's get this, y'all, because we run out of time.
1 Samuel, chapter 28, verse 7.
Go ahead.
Then said Saul unto his servant, seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit.
What she got?
A familiar spirit.
She has a familiar spirit. Understand that? The Most High have spirits, and there's evil spirits. There's two sets of spirits out here. It says one that's familiar, that have been on this earth before, and there's a woman of Endor that used the wicked spirit. Seek me out her, because he's already said God ain't answering me by his spirit. He ain't answering me. I'm going to the dark side now. Let's get some more of this.
I'm going on the left-hand side.
That's right. Let's get this.
That I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said to him, behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor.
See, we always know where the wickedness is still at. We had a boy down here, had trouble with understanding some things. Had another boy that everybody know in this room, mention his name, but I ain't going to mention it, sent him to the woman of Endor.
And when he saw a witch and spirit got snatched
from him.
You don't even believe no more.
Ate him alive.
Just no fire.
No fire. Gone. Gone like the cancer. Gone.
You look you in your eye no more.
Let's go.
Verse 8. And Saul disguised himself.
Now look at him disguising his face.
You already knew.
Willie out there.
Willie out there.
And look, this the king of Israel.
Right.
And the lion.
Throw the hoodie on.
That's right. Put the hoodie on. Let's get it.
And put on other raiment.
See, put on the other raiment. Let's get it.
And he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit.
See that, y'all? He took 2 boys with him. Now he's bringing 2 more into the wickedness with him. He's the king. If they see him doing that, what's going to stop them? It's the king. If the king is in this wickedness, what is the nation? He's closer to God than anybody. How is he going to tell them not to do nothing he into? Let's get it.
Christ spoke on this.
That's right. Let's get it.
And bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee.
So he's saying, look, use your witchcraft and bring up the dead spirit that I'm asking you about. Let's keep reading.
Verse 9. And the woman said unto him, Behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath shut off those that have familiar spirits.
Now y'all see this? She telling them what the king had done. She didn't recognize it. She said, you know what Saul done did? Saul done killed everybody that know how to conjure up demons. You done cut them out of the land. That's why she's over in Endor, away from the land of Israel. She's over in Endor. Let's get some more.
And the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life, to cause me to die?
Now look what she asked the king. You breaking the laws of your God. You done set a trap for me to be killed. You're asking me not to come out of wickedness, but to go deeper into it. Or you setting a trap for me.
And he was forewarned. Even if he went all through what he had to do and got there, here's your last chance to back out.
Let's get it. Always a door open for escape. Right there, here's the wicked telling him, Saul put everybody out of the land. He saw right there. He knows my own judgment is being pronounced by. So it's starting off. His own conscience is bearing witness against itself.
Exactly.
Even through the wicked.
Right.
And most things we do wicked, they'll tell you before you even get into it. This ain't for you, dog. You sure you want some of this? Don't you sure?
Right.
Yeah, but I ain't that holy. I ain't that holy. Pass that to me. So y'all, we're warned because the Most High makes an escape for us on everything. Any way out of wicked. Let's get some more.
Verse 10. And Saul swore to her by the Lord, saying, as the Lord liveth.
So now he done made an oath to the Lord, swearing. The Most High tells us never to swear. Let's get it.
As the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee?
Now here goes Saul now that they elevated himself to God. Ain't no punishment gonna happen to you. Don't worry about what God said. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Now do what I tell you to do. Bring them up. I got money. That's what you're looking for. Ain't it? Let's get it.
And he said, bring me up 70. And when the woman saw 70, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul.
See right there. Now, is this a demon deceiving her? Or is this a spirit? Okay, we're going to get to the understanding of it. Because what we got right here, it was revealed to her that this is Saul. And you done already tricked me. So you're trying to get me killed. You're just seeking out to see if I'm understand this first. Satan ain't gonna never help the Lord. So who's revealing to her truly what's going on here? Because this demonic spirit ain't never, we're gonna see a little bit more that this ain't the common practice that she was used to, or what she was seeing is not direct.
Right.
Something going on different here. Let's read a little bit more.
Verse 13. And the king said unto her, be not afraid, for what sawest thou?
So now we got a vision. Saul ain't seen what she's seen. So the conjuring up ain't conjuring up where you can see it physically. She's looking through a ball and he's trusting what she's saying. what she's seeing, she ain't like it. But he don't see it because he asked her, what you see?
What you see, right?
What you see? Now, he right there, it ain't Samuel didn't just come about the ground. No, he ain't coming about that because he don't see him yet. Let's get some more of this.
And the woman said unto Saul, I saw God ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, what form is he of?
See, she said, I saw God ascending out of the earth. We call somebody that's famous or somebody that's doing some things over the top, he's like a god.
An idol.
An idol. Jordan is like a god. This person is like a god. Tiger Woods like God because he's above everybody else that's doing something on a level like this. So they make iconic statues of him and they call him a god. She said, I'm seeing these type of figures coming about earth. Now, this is the part that we have to understand on this. When Christ passed and went into the grave, he preached to the souls in hell. How is that possible? So what we're talking about here is, are we understanding Ecclesiastes when it says the dead knoweth nothing? Or are we have to understand it from the difference? How was Christ preaching to dead people then?
They don't know.
See, we got to be able to answer these questions. But the script gonna help us answer, because before Christ went up on high, the kingdom or the grave was paradise. It was underneath. That was Adam, because he was the king of the world at that time and he reigned supreme. So man went back to the earth. So that's where souls went underneath. Christ went back to preach to everybody before his crucifixion. Righteous souls that died beneath. All of them were taken to the kingdom, just where the Ark of the Covenant is now, up there. And the new city, New Jerusalem, comes down from here because Christ is from above. So the new paradise compared is from above. So we don't look underneath no more. But at this time, righteous souls were in the grave. And they were resurrected and called up. And we're going to get into that. We're going to make that clear to the difference in understanding where the Ark of the Covenant is now. Because he came and got Noah's body. And Michael came and got Moses' body, in the book of Jude, and took him away. And they're taking him for Christ because he's the high priest now. It ain't just earthly stuff we dealing with no more. The first man, 1 Corinthians 15:51, Adam was the first man earthly. Christ is the second man spiritually and of heaven. So everything we dealing with coming from up there to down here. So is the new city, so is New Jerusalem. But everything before then, men went to the earth. Let's get it, y'all.
Verse 14 again. And he said unto her, what form is he of?
Right.
And she said, an old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel. And he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself.
So Saul perceived it was a man because he came over with a mantle. The prophets wore the mantle. No other group or diviners or wicked other people wore this type of mantle. And she said, this is what I see. God's ascending, coming up out of the earth. So she's seeing something that she ain't never seen. If y'all ever watched the movie Ghost, Whoopi never was pulling the fake stuff, but they got into something that was more, and she started running herself. So this is the same exact thing was happening. She like, hey, I was pulling some stunts before, but this on another level here. This is at another level. And we got to understand that how we going to explain these things, and was this resurrection of Samuel, or was it a demon? But we're going to get to some clear understanding. Read some more.
And Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up?
So we see here that he's asleep. He's been woken up. So he's not walking around doing anything, just like Revelation 6 and 9. And I saw the souls under the altar, crying and saying, when will you avenge our blood on the earth? And they were given white robes and put back to sleep. So they're under the altar of God and his realm, and they're put back to sleep, but given white robes to let them know, when I'm resurrected again, then we already know we saved, because the saved part is you're given a white robe. So everybody down here on this earth walking around not breathing air and ain't got no white robe on and a palm leaf in their hand, and they should have a new name. Just asking them 3 questions. What? What white robe?
What new name?
What new name? Right. Exactly. Let's get some more.
And Saul answered, I am sore distressed.
What is he?
Sore distressed.
His spirit is driving him crazy. It's his inner being. He can't sleep. He can't eat. He can't do nothing. Y'all can calm baby girl down. Let's get smoked.
For the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answered me no more, neither by prophet, nor by dream. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do.
See, now he's saying God ain't answering him by the ways that God answered people. Now this is a key thing that you're going to know about false prophets. God answers us by a certain order. If they come into you, I don't care how long they've been in the church or what they're doing, if it's not by this order, it's witchcraft. Dreams and vision. The difference is, dreams comes while you sleep. Let's understand the difference. You can daydream, but I'm going to get into that. There's something called REM, REM sleep. Rapid eye movement. And what this is,
so you got in or in after that.
After that, right.
There's no more rapid.
No more rapid. And what happens is when you go to sleep, you dream for 5 to 10 minutes.
Right.
It may seem like you're doing the whole night, but your eyes are going like this. So what's happening is the visions that are going across your eyes while you sleep are going at this space. They're going rapid speed, like how you would scan, like you have you have your cursor right here, and then you move it right here so you get to these visions. But that's why you dream, because if you ever watch anybody that's dreaming, you can look at their eyes. Their eyeballs are going like this, side to side, side to side. That's rapid eye movement. They're watching the visions going about like this. A whole night, what you think you've been dreaming for 8 hours, that's only been 5 minutes.
That's right.
It's called rapid eye movement or REM sleep. You know, so that's what happens in dreams. You're watching visions of your life, or if your life flashed before you, what you say? How quick did that flash? You, from the time you was a shorty till up to this very second, you just watched that in the time you thought you was drowning. Your whole life in a blink of an eye. So that's what happens when you dream. That's dreams. He'll answer you in that. Then we got visions. Visions is another thing. Visions are called, another name for these are called trances. And a trance, Peter in Acts 10, went up on the rooftop and began to pray, but fell into a trance. Another term for this is called daydream. That's dreaming in the daytime. And you sit like this, and you be like this. What is 1,000 miles away? Yeah, you are actually in a trance. This is what happened during hypnosis. They're pulling you into a vision. This happened on the Mount of Transfiguration. It was a vision. What Paul saw in Acts 10 was a vision about the 9th hour. Peter was a trance. He was into a trance with Christ when they manifested Moses and Elijah to the other disciples in Matthew 16 and 17 chapter. The Mount of Transfiguration. They saw the vision of it. Was it accident? He said, tell no man the vision. It wasn't light form. He didn't pull them up out of the ground yet, but what he was showing them was a true vision of what's going to happen to them. Deja vu and what we call premonition, or changes of these two words. Deja vu, the difference between that and a premonition is, a premonition, you know what's going to happen in the next block. Like, man, I've been here. When we get right over here, there's going to be a red car around there with some spinners on it. You walk around the corner, there's a red car with spinners on it. That's premonition. Deja vu is, you remember being here, but you don't remember nothing about it. All you do is remember that time period, but you can't tell what's coming next.
You get caught up in it. You get caught up in it. It's like a motion. You know,
well,
you have like a deja vu of you sweeping the floor, and as you sweep the floor, you stop and say, I done swept
this floor before, but you don't know who's picking up the dust or the trash. You ain't got a vision of that. That's deja vu. You remember being in this place, but that's what dreams are like. You remember you dreamed, but you don't know what it was about unless you learn how to wake up and write it down. That's called lucid dreaming. Being aware of the dream, you wake up and you write it down. It means in the awareness. But visions is what they call premonitions now. The Most High show you the beginning of this matter, and He shows you how it's going to end. This is what He shows you. I'm going to show you the whole picture of it to the letter. So when you write it down, you'll write it down to the letter. You'll write down what time the clock has. If it's 3 o'clock, then the clock going to be like that. You're going to write at 3 p.m. And the Lord said fire, and then you're going to see the fire right here. But dreams, if you don't get right into them or don't understand what's happening, it's going to be blurry. And that's why everyone, like the what's name had a dream. He couldn't understand it. Find me an interpreter. Pharaoh. Mikhail, he said, find me an interpreter. He said, I don't know what I dreamed. That's the problem. And all I remember, I was right here, and that's the last of it. Those are dreams. But Daniel showed him the vision and the interpretation thereof. He showed them the writing on the wall. Go ahead, bro.
So you have the dream, but you don't, if you can remember the dream, but you don't quite understand it, you pray you ask the Most High to give you the interpretation you need?
Absolutely. You're asking for interpretation of the dream. And that's what Daniel did as well. He interpreted the dream. And what happens is, when you ask for that, then you'll get what's called a vision. Let's hit a little bit of just Joel 3, where the young man dreamed dreams, Acts 1. Because that's happening twofold. It's going to happen in the last days. But what's going to happen here, and then we're going to get right back in, y'all. We got about a good half hour, y'all. We're going to give you some clear understanding of the Most High about dreams, because they got dream books out here now. If you keep dreaming, a wolf scratching at your back door. That means the preacher after your pocketbook. No, it ain't. No, they got dream books. The Most High will tell you exactly what it means. But we go to alternate sources because we're told to do something that you don't want to do. And that's pray. And ask the Most High for understanding. We too lazy to do it, so we'll have somebody do it for us. And guess what they gonna do? Tell you what you want to hear. Right. And we got an intercessor. And y'all, we have to understand, a lot of times Most High used symbol. When he used the serpent on that pole in the wilderness, we had to look at that. And it said, just like Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, in the Numbers, what we had to look upon, they say, but look upon it for your sin, because it was made out of the sins of man. So he said, look upon it to remember your sins, but not look upon it as this. He said, and Christ is going to be lifted up the same way. So it said, look at Christ like they did in the wilderness. But this thing would end up being destroyed in the book of Kings. So y'all, we have to clearly understand, whenever somebody bring you symbolism in the Bible, we have to explain it, or it's going to say y'all doing the same thing y'all preaching for everybody else not to do. Why do we see this in Numbers? Why do we see them using a crystal ball? Why do we see them using dice? The reason is they were used in righteousness, but Satan is using wickedness. Well, I don't want you getting into that, because it's going to lead you astray, and you don't know what you're dealing with when you're dealing with these demons. Like when we get into Acts 8 chapter, when the vagabond Jews gonna call themselves doing what Paul did. They're gonna try to pull an exorcism. Them demons warm out. It's why them demons tell you we have to do it different than Christ. We have to get you in the middle of a circle. We put a pentagram in there. Do not step a foot outside this circle, or the demons will kill you. Understand how they do their witchcraft. And what they're trying to do is implement their witchcraft into the ways of the Lord. And they will. So y'all, we have to clearly understand the difference in why it seems like these things are there. Y'all, we got to be able to answer these questions. Why is that in there? That looks like a cross to me. And you tell me I ain't supposed to wear no cross? You're going to have some problems if you cannot answer these things, y'all. That's what we're doing today. We're going to answer these and see how the Most High deals with these things, so that every word of God stands correct. Absolutely. And it ain't no head scratching, because if you waver 1 second, guess what? You're going to question this record. And you're going to start to lean toward them and say, it ain't true all the way. You know, there's some things I'm questioning too. If that's in your mind, you're in the wrong game. Get out of this. No doubt. Zero doubt. You can't have it. This is what he talked about Thomas. The disciples walked with him, watched him do everything. And then when Mary told him, I seen him here. He like, I ain't gonna believe that. How you walk with him every day for 3 years and watch what you watch, and then say, that part I still don't believe. That's where the word doubt in Thomas came from. Doubt is lack of faith, or weakness of faith. If you have doubt. That's why I would say doubting nothing. Let's get some more. See, it said Peter pondered the vision in Acts 10, what he had. Just get a little bit of that Joel, where say your young man will dream dreams in the last day. Y'all, let's hit a couple scriptures. We got to hit these hard these last two. We're going to show you some dreams, and we're going to show you some visions of the people coming back. But that's been commonplace in Israel. But them raising up and walking on this earth, no.
28.
That ain't never happened until the resurrection happens. You got it?
Joel chapter 2, verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh.
See what the Most High gonna do? He said, I'm gonna pour out my spirit on all flesh. What spirit is that he's pouring out? The Holy Spirit is coming on all flesh. Those that accept the word of the Lord, everybody get a chance because he's a righteous judge. Everybody gets a chance at this. Just like when we come out of Egypt, David and the most rose Reubenite out there that loved Pharaoh, sell out, made Clarence Thomas look like a foot soldier with a sword in his hand. But he got to come out. But he also was the one that led them to make the golden calf when they was preparing them right. He perished. So the Most High gives everybody a chance to get themselves right. Let's get some more.
And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams.
Right.
Your young men shall see visions.
Right.
And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids. In those days will I pour out my spirit.
See, he said he's going to pour it on the handmaids as well, so it's coming on women. You have to understand this. Women will see visions and dreams too. They say cut them off. Where it says, you can't teach, you can't have no vision, you can't have no dream, you can't do nothing but cook and have my baby. It ain't saying that. None of that. It's saying that they will be empowered as well to see these things.
Right.
Let's get some more.
Verse 30. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come.
So right here, y'all, we see what's going to happen, the vision you're going to have. If you have a vision outside of this, you had a vision of the dreamer, Martin Luther King. If you have a vision of America holding hands, little white boys and little white girls, you got a bad vision. That's a nightmare. Because America ain't letting that happen. They still ain't letting it happen now. I don't care what brother up in there with a white gal. Parents don't want your kneecaps up under the dinner table. His lineage is cut off. You think that little boy gonna look like him? He gonna have woolly hair and be light skinned. This is a cutoff for them. They don't like it. So we have to understand that dream is a figment of somebody's imagination.
Satan.
That ain't the vision we have. Now, Martin said, I see America being destroyed for its wickedness against the children of Israel. I see nuclear bombs bombing. I see this happening. I see that happening. And then I shall see the Lord coming in all his power and great glory. That's something we can kind of look at, because this is what the script is saying the visions will be like. You got something other than this? That's a vision of your own heart, mentioned in Jeremiah 23. A vision of your own heart. You know what we call it?
Read that.
Ragu visions. You've been messing with them Italian spices, late at night spaghetti, warming it up. On the other side of midnight, all them spices churning in your belly with Hennessy and Grey Goose. Or you see fire shoot out of cat breed. Wake up, tripping.
Wake up, you had a vision.